Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, day 11 of the 12 days of Christmas. If you're here watching live, please say hello. If you're watching the replay, type replay. Can't believe we only have one more session left after today. I've been putting on these mini master classes for you guys each day. It's our gift to you this holiday season. And today we're talking about some really low hanging fruit for school owners. Good morning, Mr. Sweeney. Nice to see you, sir. And we are going to be unpacking local SEO domination. We do a lot of audits for prospective clients at GrowPro. Good morning, Mr. Garcia. Good morning, Ms. Pickett. And one of the things that we audit is their Google business profile. And oftentimes there are some small tweaks that they can make that can really have long lasting positive effects in terms of where they rank on Google. And when you think about somebody going to Google and searching for martial arts near me or martial arts in their city, these types of prospects have an intent. They have an intent to buy. And they're really what I like to call today buyers. And we want to ensure that when somebody is searching for martial arts or your specific style in your area, that you show up. We know that we live in an instant gratification society, that people do not have the patience that they used to have. And more than likely, people are not going to just continue to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll to try and find you on Google. We ultimately want to be showing at the top. And there's really three places on Google that you can show up. You can show up at the very, very top, typically with Google Ads, which you have to pay for. You can show up in the Google Maps section, which has been known as the 3-pack. And you can also show up organically. And we're going to talk about how you can really dominate with showing up in the Google Map pack, which is often what people will click on. And the goal is that you get the first at bat, meaning they click on you and check you out first. So I'm going to give you some practical action steps to help increase your rankings on your Google business profile. This is a service that we offer at GrowPro. We started offering it a little over a year ago. We have tons of clients that utilize this service, and it's had a lot of success in helping them rank higher on Google, depending on where the person is searching for. So we'll talk about the impact and how to optimize the number one ranking factor, and then kind of like continued maintenance that you're going to want to make sure that you're doing on a weekly and monthly basis with your profile. So a couple of SEO quotes here. The reality of SEO is the reality of any successful endeavor. It will take strategic, consistent, and sufficient efforts to rank well. I mean, really, if we want to have success in anything in life, we've got to be strategic, we've got to be consistent, and we have to put effort in. And successful SEO is not about tracking Google. It's about partnering with Google to provide the best search results for Google's users. Google wants to make sure that when it serves something after you put an inquiry in the search engine results page, that it's providing you with the absolute best potential match with what you are searching for. So there are really 10 components of your Google business profile. This is the one here with Gracie Pack. Good morning, Miss Jilly. Nice to see you. And they have changed the way that you can access these platforms many times over the years. They've changed the name of it. It used to be called Google My Business. Before that, it was Google Plus. Now it's Google Business Profile. If you hear people still calling it Google My Business, it's just because that's what it's used to be called, but now it's called Google Business Profile. There used to be a completely separate platform that you could access your listing, and today you actually access it right inside of the Google search engine results page. So 10 components. You have your profile, you have reviews, photos, performance, advertise, products, services, bookings, Q&A, and updates. And in order to access it, you simply need to be logged into the Google account that is associated with your business profile. So as you can see, I'm logged in here. And if I just type in Gracie Pack MMA, because I am an admin, I am going to see this section up here. If somebody wasn't an admin and somebody's just Googling my school, they would not see this section. So this is the area that you can update your Google business profile. And then this is over here, the profile itself. And not a lot of people know that there are a lot of different sections inside of the Google business profile. Not a lot of people know you can actually post on your Google business profile. The first thing that you want to just make sure is that your profile strength is all the way with a closed green circle. And if it's not, that means you have some areas that Google wants you to update and to optimize. Now, just because you have this green circle, that doesn't mean that you never need to go back and never need to, maintain it or make updates. But if you click on edit profile, you'll get a little pop-up, and this is all, pretty self-explanatory in terms of, what should be going in here. But I do want to give you a couple of tips. So you'll have your business name, your business category. We do multiple categories. Yes, we put that we're a karate school on there, even though we're BJJ and MMA. And it's just because most people can't differentiate or don't understand the difference between the styles. And I think especially because of the Karate Kid, people think like karate is karate. Karate is martial arts, even though it is a specific style. One of the things I want you to remember is that inside of your description, you're going to want to use keywords that people will potentially use to try and find a martial arts school. Now, we're in Tampa, Florida, but Tampa is a very, very large saturated market, and we're actually in this kind of subdivision area called Carrollwood and Westchase. So if somebody lived in Westchase, which is kind of like this just smaller community in Tampa, they're not going to want to drive, very far to go to a martial arts school. So instead of martial arts in Tampa, they might put martial arts in Westchase or martial arts in Carrollwood. So if you have similar areas in your town, you want to make sure that you add that in. Good morning, Miss Ross. Nice to see you. Okay. The different types of programs, kids programs, teens programs, adult programs, those are keywords that you want to build into the description as well. Then you're going to have contact information, your phone number, website, social profiles. And one of the most important things is ensuring that this address here, so mine's 5040 West Linebaugh Avenue, you want to make sure that this address, that your name and that your phone number, we call this NAP, name, address, phone number, is exactly the same on your website and just anywhere else, like your social profiles that you might have. This is one of the most important things that Google looks at, is that NAP consistency. And it even comes down to like, are you typing out the word West? Is it W with a period? If you're in a suite, are you spelling out suite? Are you abbreviating it? You've got to make sure that it is, just exactly how it's listed on your Google business profile. You have service areas. Service areas are typically utilized for service-based businesses such as like HVAC companies and plumbing companies, companies that travel in different service areas. But we set up the service areas that are surrounded by us, which helps us rank if people are searching in these particular service areas. You're going to want to update your business hours. Also important, when holidays are coming up, you can update that as well so people are aware. And there are, lots of like other edits that you can put in. Do you have wheelchair accessibility, the amenities? Do you offer, discounts and things like that? So fill this out as much as you can, go step by step by step. And the more you fill this out, the stronger your profile strength will be. Okay. So that's the profile that we just talked about. Next up are your reviews. And your reviews are just so important. I always tell people you want to aim for triple digit reviews. We have 252 right now. And it's not just important for you getting reviews, it's important for you to consistently get reviews. So, one of the mistakes I see a lot of schools make is they'll do a hard push for reviews. And then, like 6 months goes by and they don't get any more reviews because they haven't built systems into their school for consistently getting those reviews. I've done trainings that you can access on the growproagency.com website under webinars on how to hit triple digit reviews and really build those systems inside of your school. The other thing you want to make sure you do is reply to the reviews. This is actually part of our service that we offer with our Google Business Profile Amplifier program. We actually go in and reply to those reviews. So you want to make sure that anytime somebody is leaving a review, you go in and reply. We always love seeing these reviews with pictures. That can actually help increase the rankings as well when somebody actually takes a picture and they attach it to the Google review. So you can also, prompt people to do that when they leave a review. So that is the second portion of it. Third is going to be your photos. And oftentimes, what typically happens is schools will, when they first build out their profile, they'll upload some pictures, but they don't go back in and update it. Also, especially if you've done any upgrades, maybe you're planning during the holiday break to, paint the walls, or you're going to get some new equipment or something like that. You always want to have updated photos. And what that shows Google is that you are an active participant on the Google business profile, which just sends a signal back to them to help you rank higher. So you want to make sure that you are uploading photos at a minimum on a quarterly basis. Next up, you have performance, and the performance will just give you like an overview. It'll tell you how many calls, how many bookings, how many people are asking for directions to your business, and how many website clicks. And you can set the time period so you can see, just like historically, if there are certain periods of time, maybe you are running Google ads or you are running Facebook ads and you see an increase to that performance. Next, it's advertise. This is if you wanted to set up Google ads, this is how you could do that. You would click on advertise and you could get it set up. Next are your products. And I think that products kind of can be a little confusing to school owners. Like when we think products, we think like uniforms and belts and weapons. And that's not what I want you to put in here. What I actually want you to put is whatever your bread and butter trial is. So for ours, it's 2 weeks for $29. So we have that introductory trial in here for the kids and for the adults. And they can actually click on this, and there's a link inside that will take them to a checkout page to purchase the trial. So even though it says products, I want you to think of your trials. Okay. Next up, you have your services, and you can edit the services in here. These are the current services that we offer in our school. There's actually a lot to choose from in your Google business profile. And if it is something that you offer, you're going to want to go ahead and put that in. Okay. Next up, you have bookings. A lot of people don't know that you can actually put a link in your Google business profile where people can book appointments. So if somebody clicks on this, this takes them to our online calendar and they can book an appointment right through the Google business profile. Next up, you have Q&A. The question and answer are typically questions that people have asked or that you set up as well. So if people ask these questions, you want to make sure you go in and you respond to them. And the interesting thing is that people can actually answer questions on your behalf on the profile, and sometimes they don't answer the question properly. So you want to go in and make sure that you are keeping up with those questions. And then finally, you have updates. And updates, I think, can be, kind of like confusing with the terminology. All it is it's really a post. So you can post just like you would on social media. You can add an offer, and you can also add events. So if you had a holiday party or you have a, challenge seminar coming up, you can add those in. And where those will show up, the posts are down here on the bottom. And as you can see, we're very consistent. We post 3 times a week on this. Gracie Pack utilizes Grows Pros services for the Google Business Amplifier program. And then this is a really easy way for you to be able to ask for reviews. So this gives you a review link. So if you want to copy this, and you can put this link in automations that get sent out to your students asking them for reviews. If you want to put this into like a QR code generator, you can do that. If you have an NFC card, which we chose 5 winners of the NFC card from one of our previous trainings of the 12 Days of Christmas, and you guys should have been receiving those who won it. But you can use that link to just basically make it a lot easier for people to be able to leave a review. Okay. And those are the 10 main areas of your Google business profile. And like I said, some of this, right? You're going to want to, spend some time really optimizing. And then there's kind of maintenance to this profile, which we'll talk about in a second. Okay. So those are the 10 components of your Google business profile. And I want you to make sure that your profile strength looks good. Okay. The number one ranking factor that you really have control over is going to be your reviews. Now, I do want to touch on Google's terms of service. Google, in their terms of service, says that you cannot incentivize people to leave a review. There's this bounce house place that Cruz loves to go to, and they have this gigantic sign. I mean, it's got to be like a maybe like a 5 foot by 8 foot gigantic sign that they printed inside of the bounce house area that says, if you leave us a 5-star Google review, we'll give you a free drink. That's actually against Google's terms of services. Now, do I think Google is going to come knocking on your door? No, but I do want to let you know that it is against their terms of service to incentivize people to leave Google reviews. Okay. One of the things that we did that really helped us skyrocket is we did a challenge against another jujitsu school, and basically told our students, hey, there's this other jujitsu school in North Carolina. We have about the same amount of reviews, and we want to see who can hit 100 the fastest. And we would like you guys to help us hit 100 reviews the fastest. And it made it this challenge and this competition. And unfortunately, we lost, but we really won because we ended up hitting the triple reviews as well. Okay. Mr. Garcia, how often should we update our pictures posted to Google? I'd recommend at a minimum updating your pictures once a month. If that is too much to keep up with, then quarterly, but try to do it monthly. And then in terms of posting on your Google page, I recommend 3 times a week. We touched on the NFC and the QR codes that you can post in your school. The NFC card, something you can put on, the lobby desk. The QR codes, you can put them in the bathrooms, you can put them in the lobby. But you really just want to build this into your systems and train your team that anytime somebody is giving you positive feedback, it's a great opportunity for you to say, that's absolutely amazing that you're seeing these positive improvements. And I think other families would, get a lot out of you sharing that. Would you mind giving us a Google review? And we've never, ever had anybody say no. I mean, people aren't just going to flat out say no, but you also want to make it convenient for them to be able to do it. Okay. So reviews, reviews, reviews. And Google wants to see consistent reviews. They don't want to just see that you got a ton of reviews a year ago. They want to see those consistent reviews. That sends a signal to Google that you are an active business. So this is so important. And again, I think most school owners, like, they'll do a training like this and they're like, all right, we got to get more reviews. And then they get the more reviews, and then they don't build it into their systems or provide ease of getting the reviews with things like NFC or QR codes. In terms of the ongoing things that you need to do, you should be posting on the profile. You should be updating the photos. Anytime you have an offer update, you want to put that offer update in there. And then you also want to make sure that you reply to the reviews that are coming in. So this is something that we can handle for you. The program is extremely affordable. It's only $299 a month, and it doesn't have any ad spend behind it, so there's no additional charges. And one of the things that is really powerful are what we call these heat map rankings. And I'll go back to the action step in a second, but I want to show you this heat map. So prior to working with clients, what we'll do is we will run this heat map ranking map, and we just put in your address, and we'll put in the search term martial arts near me. So for this particular example, this was the school prior to using our Google Business Amplifier program. And this is where their school is, this little red dot right here. And what this is saying is if somebody is standing inside of their school and they Google martial arts near me, that school is going to show up number one. But if that person was, let's say, over here and they Googled martial arts near me, that school is going to ultimately show up number six. So your goal is to try to turn, these red areas and orange and yellows into greens. And after 3 months of utilizing our services, we then run and we run these heat map rankings for our clients every 90 days so they can see the improvement on their profile. And 90 days later, as you can see, we've been able to increase their rankings going from the 20th spot to the 5th spot, the 1st spot, the 2nd spot, the 1st spot. Obviously, the areas that are right directly around your school, we want to rank highest. But if we can continue to rank you high as the miles go out, and this is a 5 mile radius here, then you are just going to be showing up higher on the ranking, regardless if they're 2 miles, 3 miles, or 4 miles away. Okay. So your action step is to double check that the NAP, the name, address, and phone number is accurate on your Google business profile as well as your website. This is so important. And I mean, really, it's got to be consistent across everywhere that you are online. So social media profiles, other websites that you might be showing up on. Okay. And our free giveaway is a free heat map ranking. And even if you are a Grow Pro client and you want us to run this for you, we'd be happy to do that. All you need to do is email Emily at growproagency.com and just provide us with your school name and your address, and she'll be able to show you what your heat map ranking looks like. And what we do to kind of help optimize is that these areas, these cities out here, we start utilizing those keywords in the posts and in the optimization of the profile. There's this misconception, though, that, if you get to this area here, like Kang's Black Belt Academy, that you will stay there if you don't continue optimizing and posting. You will actually start to see your results regress and go backwards. And this happens when clients end up deciding they see the difference here and they're like, oh, that's awesome, we're ranking higher. Okay, we're going to cancel this service from GrowPro. And then we run a heat map ranking, 3 months later for them, and they're right back to where they started. So it is something that takes continuous effort. But if you'd like to see what your heat map ranking looks like, shoot an email over to Emily at growproagency.com with your school name and address, and we'd be happy to run this. This actually costs us money to do. We get charged every single time we run a heat map ranking. But like I said, one of our gifts to you for the 12 days of Christmas, so you can really see where you're at. Okay, guys? That is our training for today. We have one more training tomorrow, and we're actually going to shift from the focus on the business to the focus on you, because I feel like most people don't have like business problems. They have personal problems that they bring into their business. And I'm really excited to share our training with you tomorrow and really help you set yourself up for success in 2025. Okay. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow for our final session of the 12 days of Christmas. Make it a great day. Bye-bye, guys.